Back when nothing truly mattered and we hadn't had a clue. We fell into play the game. Nothing would ever be.
And welcome back to Nerd TV for another Sunday night Global Racing Truck Series race. This time live from the simulated Michigan International Speedway, widely known as MIS. It is 4:35 server time, so it's kind of a late evening, but we'll stay daytime all the time here because Michigan, to my knowledge, does not have lights. So that's what we're looking at here. As we're going to go over, get the countdown to green presented by Icon Apparel Company underway here. Me and Dustin are going to chat it up, talk about a few things, watch some practice, watch some qualifying, and then turn these boys loose for exactly 100 laps here tonight. 84 degrees in the skies, 26% humidity, partly cloudy, and almost virtually no wind here at this 2-mile facility. So all is good in the hood at Michigan when it comes to weather. My name is Jeremy Stanley, aka Jay Swifty, and to my right hand side, man of 1,000 hats, Dustin Logston. What's up, dude? What's up on a Sunday?
Oh, you can come watch these drivers here at the Global Racing League Truck Series put it down at Michigan. So definitely one of the funner tracks for some drivers. Other drivers, I know Stephen Hayes voiced his opinion in the drivers' meeting. He's not a fan of this track, but probably for good reason, because with the trucks here, Jeremy, it is literally just like another super speedway. It's another heavy drafting track. So draft is going to play a big factor in it, just like Daytona, Talladega. The only difference is you're going to see these drivers fan out in the corners. Turns 1 and 2, 3 and 4. You're going to see multiple lines going through here. Some are going to be wall riding it. Some are going to be just right at that first dark seam there. It's going to be all over the place. And then you're going to see it's going to be a drag race down the straightaways, both of them. So I enjoy this track. Just like I enjoyed Auto Club. Thankfully, we still have the legacy version of that, as that track no longer exists. But definitely very two fun tracks, and I mean, they're technical too, more so than what people think. There's a lot more that goes into these tracks than just, you know, putting the throttle down to the floor and turning left and not running over other people. There's a little bit of finesse that goes into it.
Yeah, there is tire wear. I mean, you can't run 30 laps, you know, balls to the wall, throttle down. So they're going to fan out. There's going to be some tire strategy involved here tonight. There's going to be trucks that get loose, some get tight. Michigan's multi-banked. You got that first lane at the bottom that's about a degree or two shallower than the rest of the track. So that plays to a factor on tire wear and positioning on the corners and how people are going to tackle passes. And you guys know Michigan by now. It's going to be a great time here tonight for 100 laps for race number 13.
Race 14.
Yeah.
14, my man.
14. I'm looking at the stat column. It's so weird. There's only 3 drivers that have 13 starts. And I was thinking, that's got to be a glitch, right? No, there's only 3 drivers, Dustin, that's made every single start. And we'll just shout them out. We got Jonathan Gaston, Don Blazier, and Jeff Weimer. The only guys with 13 starts. So, race number 14 of the 2025 season. Here's your top 5 in points, by the way. We got Bobby Mantle sitting P1, 6 points ahead of Jacob Grant, who's in second place. Stephen Hayes, 15 back in third. Dustin Franklin, 53 back in fourth. And Brody Marinko, 55 points out. There's a big separation between third and fourth, but we do have playoffs, so it's not all, all lost there. So we'll keep an eye out on that as things play out later and later into the season. Dustin, we got a half minute left in this practice. What you got over there?
You know what? We're just taking a little backwards fly here with the Space Panda drone cam. Just looking at this track, 2 mile track. It's a big track, but it's going to be a fun one. I expect a lot of close racing, obviously pack racing. We already touched basis on the drafting here, but there is, like you said, you cannot go balls to the wall for 30 straight laps. You will heat those tires up. And because of the size of the track, I mean, there is always that chance of a possible big one, taking place, because the wrecks here can be just as big as what you would see at a Daytona or Talladega.
Yeah, and especially on the starts, it gets amazing how sometimes you think that Michigan won't, and then it does, and you're like, well, that's a bigger wreck than Daytona. And like, just how this track produces racing, and there it is. Checker flag is out in this practice session. That means we're going to get our cameras off your screen. We're going to go full screen action on qualifying. The fastest guy and the only driver. Yeah, no surprise indeed. If you've been watching the past, 4 weeks in a row, there's been one driver that's been on top of the charts, and he happens to be car or truck number 1. Michael Hayes, the only driver to hit a 38-second lap time with a 38.964. He's going to elect to not join on the track right away. So let's go second place. 89, Bobby Mantle. And I think Michael Hayes at this point likes to start in the last half of qualifying, so that's no surprise as well. Here we go, Dustin. 89 on track. P2 in practice.
Yeah, P2 in practice, and he is going to rim right it, build up speed as much as possible, try to build up a little bit of pressure and heat in the tires. And gets that nice straightaway burst of speed coming off the corner, taking that high line run. You see him dive it down, Jeremy. Now the question is, because this is an open setup league, is where are they going to run? I would expect them to take it down to the bottom. He elects to go all the way down to that yellow and let it slightly drift up. You're going to see some variance in that line. Some drivers may not take it down to that yellow line. They may take it to that first black crease that's there. But right now, so far, very clean lap for the driver of the 89.
If you run a raceepi.com setup, Elite Perform Industries, you're going to have, no matter what lane you take, a fast lap time. So let's see how many drivers can figure out where they're going to be for their lap. Lap 1 complete here for the 89. Going to cross that line at a 39.038, which is, was it 1/100th of a second faster than his practice time exactly. One and done for the driver of the 89. Now, here's the guy who we're really looking for. Michael Hayes, driver of the number 1 machine. Here he goes for his qualifying.
Yeah, he's going to go out there and see if he cannot top the likes of Bobby Mantle. And actually now Stephen Hayes, first driver in the 38-second bracket, crosses the line at a 38.98. Puts Stephen Hayes on top. So if Michael Hayes is going to get that pole, he's going to have to bump his brother out of it. Could we have a Hayes and Hayes front row? Only time will tell. Bobby Mantle takes that green flag right now. He has it wound up. He's going to drop it down. And he's one of the drivers that teeters that first seam there, doesn't go all the way down. Jeremy, not a bad call, because there is a transition in between that very inside line next to the yellow and the next lane up. And it is a little flatter, which means it's harder to maintain that in 1 and 2. So we'll see how it's looking right now. Lets it drift up about halfway. Nice clean exit. Expect down to the apron just like that. Mike Hayes is going to cross the line, and that's going to pit him fourth at a 39.04. So no Hayes and Hayes front row.
Yeah, identical lap time to Bobby Mantle's practice time to the T. P4, Stephen Hayes, the other Hayes family member, 13 truck is going to be P1. Abram Ghoston is in second. Bobby Mantle third. Michael Hayes fourth. Jacob Grant is top 5 so far out of the 19 times posted in this qualifying session. Couple chats on the YouTube. Michael Thorpe saying 34 Money Mike hammered down Jr. And also he said, what's good, Dustin and Jeremy? Well, we hear, we laugh. I did about $1,000 of shopping this weekend, and now I get to sit down and call a race. So there's what's good, or in some cases what's not good on my end. And then Darla Grant says, "Go Callum," and it's Callum Bailey. Or Dustin, you're calling him the what? The Scottish what?
The Swedish Scottish Warrior.
There you go.
That's the running joke. It's the only time, I guarantee it's the only time that Callum will just take being called a Swede and smile about it. So we had some good back and forth in Discord after the race and everything else a couple weeks back, and it was comical. So I tell you what, though, I'm looking at the top 5 alone. There are 3 Grim Reaper Motorsports drivers in the top 5 on qualifying right now. Ghostin in 2nd, Mantle in 3rd, and Grant in 5th. And then you got Lone Star holding the top spot, and then you got Ghost in 4th. So it's as it's looking right now, I mean, Grim Reaper Motorsports is showing up to deliver, at least on the qualifying times for the timing charts, Jeremy.
Yep, they're doing excellent this part of the season, and let's see if they can continue through the back half of this season as well. And as these drivers line up, we're going to take our quick moment here to shout out our series sponsor, Icon Apparel Company. If you've watched our broadcast, you know who they are, but we always have to remind you because they are the best partner we've had and the longest partner we've had ever at Nerd TV. So, iconapparelcompany.com. Go check them out. If you want some jerseys customized, you can do that. If you want some stock that's ready to go, you can do that. If you want fantastic discounts on apparel, you can do that. And that's at iconapparelcompany.com. Super Nerd checkout code saves you 25%. And we got a nice subtle grid camera here. And we're going to go down for it, Dustin. 13 going to lead the way. Here's your starting lineup for tonight's Michigan Speedway, race 14 for the Global Racing Truck Series. Stephen Hayes, Abram Ghosted, front row. Second row, Bobby Mantle and Michael Hayes. Row 3, Jacob Grant, Justin LeBlanc. Row 4, Jeremy Richmond and EJ Luna. Row 5, Don Blazier and Matthew Escalera. Row 6, Joshua Altis and Jonathan Gaston. Row 7, Patrick Gettner and Brody Marico. Row 8, Caden Bullard and Dustin Franklin. Row 9, Jeff Weimer and Ricky Hudgens. Row 10, Shane Wheeldon, Bradley Miner. Row 11, it's going to be Michael Thorpe Jr. and Tyler Honeycutt. Row 12, Jacob Kaplan, or Kaplan, I think is what you call him, and Ronald Holmes, which he did say he was going to be back tonight, so good to see him on here. And Chuck Cobb and Callum Bailey are going to round out the final 2 trucks in this 26 entry lineup here. Dustin, it's going to be a good race.
It is going to be a good race, and yes, Ron Holmes did say he was going to make a return tonight at Michigan, and he was a man of his word, which I would expect nothing less out of Ron. We've known Ron a very long time. Excuse me. So glad to see him back on the track after some medical stuff took place, but Jeremy, we're rolling off. It's going to be a good one.
Is it ever? This track fails to not produce, so we're gonna watch it all unfold here. 100 laps, race 14. Dustin, Dodge Ram coming back next year. How soon do we think we're gonna get that on iRacing, and how soon is this field gonna be flooded with Dodges?
In the words of iRacing, soon. No, I hope it's soon. You know me, I've always been a fan of Dodge, and I'm glad to see Ram making a return. So I see a manufacturer change in my near future, which is fantastic, and hopefully they can they can do like what they did for some of the other cars and not have to worry about laser scanning them. They can just take the CAD files and that'll speed the process up. But super stoked about that announcement.
Yeah, it's gonna be badass. I'm excited for it. Not because of the paint department, because you have like 1,000 schemes, and I have to rotate every single one over to a yet another manufacturer.
Good luck, have fun.
Good luck, have fun. Final words from the guy who sits there and presses the buttons, and here we go. It is green flag time. Great launch from everybody You see the top 4, they are buttoned up. Top 6, really just not many people missing the restart and staying buttoned up. This is where it's going to get fun. 3 and 4 might get a little crazy. They might fan out 3 wide easy. You're going to see trucks, a couple of them anyways, go up to the top 3rd lane, especially in 1 and 2. And then you just have to manage the tire wear. You're going to see a lot of maybe trail up to that top lane because it's so easy to run flat foot up there. But there you go. There's a 50-50 split down and to complete the first lap, Dustin.
Yeah, first lap so far looking very clean. But again, everybody on fresh tires. Let's get about 15 laps in these puppies and see how easy these drivers have. But right now they're feeling them out. They're letting the pressures build up, letting the temps build up a little bit. But right now, Stephen Hayes leading the way. He's painting that yellow line, but Abram Ghostin in that 22 is electing to run that higher line, and he is side by side. We got a battle for the lead, Jeremy.
Yes, we do. 13 under fire. Can he hold off the likes of the 22, Abram Ghostin? He's led the first lap. Will there be a lead change on lap number 2? And it looks like it all will be so. 13's going to go all the way to the bottom to try to fight it off. And actually, it's going to be a close one. Stephen Hayes by 4 1/1000ths leads lap 2.
Yeah, and that's why this track is such an amazing spectacle to watch, because you can see 2 trucks run completely different lines through the corner and be equally as fast. But you see Abram Ghostin falls back in line, catches that tail draft. Right now, Mike Hayes in 3rd, followed by Justin LeBlanc and EJ Luna. So that is your top 5 right now. Jeremy Richmond makes a return. Oh, Bobby Mantle gets loose in the corner. Somehow saves it. What a save on Bobby Mantle's part.
Hit him with the old quick chat from Rocket League. What a save. Oh, here we go. That's not a save. That's a wreck on the front stretch on lap 4. And as the 89 barely misses that one too. We're going to see quite a few drivers involved in this one, Dustin. Middle of the front stretch, Joshua Altis in that 94. First one to get collected with Gaston and maybe one other. We're going to go half a lap back, and we're going to see exactly how this thing set up.
We're going to sit here and go into this one here. Look like a little contact. Teammate on teammate violence, never a good thing. Little contact between Jacob Grant and Bobby Mantle, both of Grim Reaper, but Mantle did an excellent job of hanging on to it. But we're going to go further up now after that took place, and now going through the corner. Now they're coming out of turn 4 here, and down the straightaway, you're going to see some contact here. 4 wide situation. You have Thorpe on the apron, 3 wide on the track, and it looks like the 72, Jonathan Gaston, didn't quite realize how wide they were. Cut across the nose of the 94, and then just turmoil ensued behind.
Yeah, what a crazy little thing. 4 wide, all on the bottom half of the track. You can't do it. I guess Gaston didn't expect Altis to stick the nose there and just drove down into the 73, the 34. It's Michael Thorpe Sr. Sorry that you get to watch your Full Throttle Motorsports driver get involved in that one, Jeff Weimer. I don't think the damage was too bad on most of their stuff. I saw some body panels fly, probably from the 72 more than likely. But Altis, who did a 360, I think he's going to come out probably pretty okay. Just some minor cosmetic stuff. Maybe about a minute and a half on pit road and get that thing buttoned up. But early takers on pit road, remember, are limited to a certain amount of set of tires, which we have a graphic for. Here's your race information for tonight. Speaking of tire situation. Open setups, 100% fuel, 4 sets of tires. That's 1 on the car, 3 on the pits. No fasties, 3 green-white checkers, and Lucky Dog wave arounds are in effect. So that's probably why you don't see all these drivers coming down now, because tires are limited.
Yeah, and I agree. I think Altis and Gaston were probably the 2 biggest takers of damage on that one, as both of those trucks went up into the outside wall. Essentially nose first. And Jeremy, with this being such a power track, meaning You need the power out of that power plant under the hood, and it's a heavy drafting track, so any damage on that front nose, you risk having engine damage, and you risk being slow down the straightaways. You may not feel that draft as much in the corners, but the second these trucks straighten out and go down those straightaways, you might as well be holding a piece of plywood up in front of that truck, because you're going to feel the speed difference.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to go a lap and a half left. I'm going to go back to green flag here, get this thing all straight away, situated. We're going to take another one of our partners while we're doing this, and Brez Coffee Co. It's Brez Coffee Company. I'm going to go to their website, brezcoffeeco.com. Sugary Sweet Joystick is our specific flavor crafted for you all. It's a churro-flavored coffee ground. And you're going to just go up to that search bar when you go to their website. Just search Nerd. You're going to have two pop up. We're the right side one with the Nerditudes in on the bag. You know that's us when our brand's on it. So you'll purchase that if you would like to do so to have a great flavor of coffee. Hot brew it, cold brew it. What was I saying? Hot brew it, cold brew it. If anything,
Any way you want to do it.
Any way you want to do it. I knew it was going to be a hiccup on that.
And you said you were going to write it down. My man dropped the ball. Jeez.
Boy, do I do that. That's the story of my life, sir.
Almost like leaving a teammate out for a championship.
Hey, the man who said he was going to leave it there.
I figured you threw yourself under the bus enough. I figured I'd sit here and poke fun at you once in a while for it.
Paint me yellow, lay me perpendicular on the road, speed bump me, brother.
So going back to that wreck, Jeremy, I'm like you. I mean, this track has got space for days, unlike other speedway tracks. And I'm like you. I find myself scratching my head that it was 4 wide and it was the bottom half of the track. Like, they still had half the width of the track that they had open that they could have used, and they elected to go 4 wide in the bottom half.
Yeah, you could have had a little more space there, but I guess not. What would you say, about 9 truck lengths apart between the wall and the line? Eight trucks, something like that, technically speaking. And they had 4 crammed on the lower half there. And lessons have been learned. Now the 13 is still going to be the leader, leading every single lap so far out of the first 7. Green flag is out. Here we go. This time, much better launch between the 13, 1, 24, as they're going to leave the 22 to drop back a spot or 2.
Yeah, you see Stephen Hayes jumps out to a good lead, which is no surprise. Again, controlling that start. Mike Hayes now all over the rear bumper of his brother Stephen Hayes. He's looking to try to get up there. Now remember, Stephen Hayes had a stellar truck last week, and a little bit of contact threw him out of funk, put him into the wall. He fell back, made his way back up to podium. But you can definitely tell that this driver is super hungry to try to get back into victory lane again. Oh, little contact between brothers there. Sends Mike Hayes down below the white line.
Yeah, he is trying. Could not get the pass done this time around. We got a nice little 7-truck breakaway in a half a second. We'll bring in the next 2 drivers through turn 1 and 2. The 22 utilizes the 3rd lane. Going to get a launch over the one on the outside. Side draft for real. Michael Hayes back in door-to-door for 2nd place. And he checks up the corner a little bit. Going to go right to the bottom. 22 is going to have a nice exit here. He's going back for that race lead attempt.
Yeah, good battle for P2 right now. Justin LeBlanc sitting back there waiting in the wings in P4 for these two to figure out where they're going to go. He did attempt to try to follow Mike Hayes on the bottom last time. This time takes a much higher approach. Is actually all the drivers take a little higher approach than they had the last set of corners going through. But right now, 2-car breakaway, Stephen Hayes, Abram Ghostin, a little bit of separation between themselves and Mike Hayes. And here we got another battle going on. This is a pivotal battle point. This is for 5th place between Jacob Grant in the 19 and Dustin Franklin, who currently holds 5th. Side by side, Jeremy.
Contact. Oh, saving Dustin. He does. Great save dive by Mr. Franklin, driving the 74. He's going to lose 5-6 spots down the front straightaway here. As that could have been way worse, but great handling from Dustin to keep that thing off the wall. Now he's got to play recovery, probably the remainder of this run until pit stops. As we're on lap number 11 now, everybody in the top 7 single file. You got a couple trucks there, the 7 on the inside of the 4, looking to gain through here. That's a really low entrance into turn 3, Dustin, 3 wide. Nope, he's going to back it down 2 wide now, 4 to the inside.
Yeah, and that's what drivers got to be careful, Jeremy. This track is notorious for that because there's so much room and you gain so much delta speed down the straightaways with that draft pole that drivers will take a higher arc entrance into the corners to set up to go through turns 1 and 2 or 3 and 4, and it leaves that bottom open, and it's so tantalizing for drivers to want to just try to, throw it in there and try to outbrake it going on the inside, but very rarely does it work because, one, you're either going to have to brake so much that you're going to lose all momentum you had going in there, or two, you're going to miss that braking point and drift up into the drivers that you're trying to get under.
That's a great point there to make, as we're still fanning them out there for about 10th place or so. Here we go, 22, looking to the inside of the 13. Can he do it? No.
He's got draft help right now, though. Well, did.
Well, yeah, the brothers finally said, I'm going to follow you, bro. And sends him off in a turn 1. But the 22 almost has the truck length. Cannot get cleared, though. Steven's going to get a great launch off of turn 2. And the 22 is almost behind him. He's going to elect to stay there. Yep. He wants to go in line, but nope, not going to happen. Steven doing a hell of a job leading now every single lap for the first 13 laps of this 100-lap event.
Yeah, just not enough momentum for the 22 of Abram Ghostin to clear the 13 and pull the slide job on corner exit. And now Mike Hayes is going to take a run on the inside. He's going to get around the 22, so put Steven and Mike Hayes P1 and P2, but Abram Ghostin not done yet, still trying to fight on that inside, but Justin LeBlanc and Jacob Grant making a run on corner exit coming out of 2. Abram Ghostin at risk of losing a couple more positions, Jeremy.
Yeah, it's a really low entrance. I've seen quite a few drivers now take that really low turn 3 approach. I'm not sure if that's something that works that I have no idea about, but it didn't work for him this time. Goes back to P5. Now Michael looks to the inside here. The whole field, Dustin, single file, except for the number 1, who's trying to look underneath Steven now. Hayes versus Hayes, turn 1. Here comes LeBlanc trying to spoil the party.
Yeah, and he ran a later entry, he being Mike Hayes going into that, and kind of, forced the 13 of Stephen Hayes to be up on that top spot. But what that did, 1, Stephen Hayes has been running up there, so he's comfortable, but 2, it allowed Mike Hayes to try to maintain a little bit more speed running that second to, second and a half groove for corner exit. But still, I tell you what, that 13 camp tonight, Jeremy, they have a rocket ship underneath them, and it's going to be like this, folks, for the remaining 84 laps that we have going on right now. This is how it's going to be, because you're not really going to have a driver that's going to be able to break away, maybe late in the run depending on tire wear, but you're not going to have a true breakaway because of that draft pole. As long as drivers can get in that draft, you're going to have packs like this here. But the question is, do they have the tire and the line to make the pass happen throughout the corners?
Standing over here. Here comes the first lead change of the night. Well, hold on. Side draft. Does he get him?
Yeah.
Oh, he did.
He did. Barely contact.
Literally 0.000 at the line, but technically to the 4th digit. Michael Hayes is going to break the streak of Stephen Hayes, but quickly takes it right back. And Justin LeBlanc, who made a charge from 6th to 3rd, he falls to 4th as now the 19 to Jacob Grant. He usually comes out a little bit stronger later in the run, but here we are in lap 17. He's trying to get himself a lap lead.
Yeah, absolutely. And remember, he is our only back-to-back race winner this season for the Global Racing League Truck Series. He's won the last 2 weeks, Jeremy, and he is on point right now to see if he can't complete the three-peat by taking a victory tonight, and he's putting himself in good contention right now, side by side with Mike Hayes, going down the backstretch, getting a little draft pull from the 13. It's going to keep them side by side as they go off into 3 right now. So this this group right here, and I mean even Justin LeBlanc is still in striking distance. Abram Ghostin not too far back, but a little slip up from one of these 4 trucks right here, and that's going to put Abram Ghostin right back in it again.
100% here. Now starting off on lap 19. This is the best battle on track, and it is also for the race lead. 4 truck, nose to tail, all running the 3rd groove in turns 1 and 2 this time. Jacob a little bit lower entry to get the air on the nose. He's going to slide back in behind the 1 for some draft. He's going to utilize that momentum to try to do something in turn 3, as we got a couple passes for about 9th or 10th that quickly dissolves. As we're kind of focusing on it now, this is a close battle between the 18 here, Caden Bullard. He's going to cross over and go for a 2-for-1.
What a crossover. He was behind the 91 of Ricky Hudgens, crossed him over in the corner, and then continued on to cross over the 98 of Jeremy Richmond. So now you have Caden Bullard on the inside, Jeremy Richmond on the outside, side by side right now. Richmond going to get that high side run and maintain that position, but what a 2-for-1 crossover attempt by the 18 of Caden Bullard.
Yeah, he's on a charge from 15th to 7th place, so he's made up half the spots between his starting position and the race lead as he continues to try to advance forward, this time under fire, but gets a great launch off a turn. It's like wall contact, I think, from the 18 as well, but it doesn't hurt his momentum. He's going to have a nice launch still. Falls back to 8th. Oh, we have a... was that a wreck? Oh, did he just drive through him through lag?
Yeah, that's exactly
that?
what's... Yeah, that's... that is the luckiest lag and net code ever. I don't even know who was on his inside, but my goodness, the luckiest. Caden Bullard.
Callum Bailey.
The
Callum
Swedish...
Bailey, the warrior.
Yeah, Callum Bailey, the Swedish-Scottish warrior. The luckiest lag ever, because he would have been wiped out completely on that one.
That's impressive. Okay. Well, Callum, there's your rabbit's foot of the night. Hopefully you don't have to use that again. But here we go, side by side, 2nd and 3rd place. Michael Hayes a little loose. They're off of turn 2. 13 going to help out his brother. Draft down the back straightaway. Tucks back into the outside lane before turn entry. And then now these guys are going to stay formal to the 2nd and 3rd groove here. No one really looking at the bottom except for the 22 that time around.
Yeah, 13 of Stephen Hayes still holding that lead, but Jacob Grant did get around Mike Hayes and is now trying to set his sights on the 13. This entire top, about top 7 now, because even as we speak, EJ Luna has closed in, and now Jeremy Richmond closing in. So even your top 7, this is a very close battle right here. And even some of the other drivers like Caden Bullard, Ricky Hudgens, and Jacob Kaplan are starting to close in now. So that's going to turn this, what was a 4 to 5 truck battle, into about a 10 truck battle, Jeremy.
And keep on watching. We're going to go picture in picture for the first time this evening. We will stay live, though. We'll be right back.
Hey, can you do me a favor? I'm really hungry, but I'm trapped in here, and I dropped my last piece of boozy jerky on the floor. I can't reach it. Would you mind grabbing me a bag of the most tender, flavorful, booze-infused jerky on the planet? I promise I'll pay you back. I mean, I'd eat my piece, but I can't reach it. Oh, actually, I got it. Oh, it's so good. It's so tender, so flavorful. You should really pick yourself up a bag. But if you do, you can't eat it in here. Now, this is my spot. I own this spot. Boozy jerky. The original booze-infused beef jerky with a pair.
Epic battle still here for the race lead. Stephen Hayes beat the 19 to the line by 2/1000ths of a second last lap. Quickly got the lead confirmed back to himself on the back straightaway. Now Jacob with draft to the inside.
Will get it.
He gets it by 22/1000ths of a second that time. That is your third different leader and third lead change here this evening.
Yeah, and Jacob Grant has been running solid, put himself in a good position right now. And these guys have been, just neck and neck, Jeremy, for about the last 8 laps. Just so close. Mike Hayes still back there in striking distance, but these 3 trucks have kind of separated themselves away from the rest of the field, currently led by the 24 of EJ Luna. Did get around Justin LeBlanc, but you have Jeremy Richmond and Caden Bullard back there. Those 4 trucks you can throw a blanket over right now.
Yeah, another really good battle going on the track right now. LeBlanc did a pretty strong beginning of this race. He started from 6th, went to 3rd. I thought maybe he was going to spoil the party a little bit, but then he's kind of subtly just faded. Back to 5th, now possibly back. Oh, it's going to be tight here off of turn 2. 18, Caden to the outside wall. Going to lose that momentum as the 85 is still under fire by Jeremy Richmond, and the 98 temporarily backs it down to drop in for a good entry into 3. They'll expect that 98 to continue to the press. Oh, the 13, I think, hit the wall or got really close. He was Kyle Larson off of turn 3.
I seen that when we were focusing in on the battle between LeBlanc and Richmond. I seen that 13 truck way up against that wall, and he was way up there. He likes to play it a little safe now. Stays in that 4th lane, but Jeremy, that last lap, he was up there in that 5th lane solidly, trying to find some more speed there to try to maintain with the 19 of Jacob Grant.
I hit my rewind button, and he did not lose an ounce of speed. He's going to do it again here. He is going to go... no. He goes to the 4th. He did not go to the 5th this time. He did it last time. It worked for him. And let's see what kind of momentum he gets off of turn 4. Gets just a little bit. He's going to make the pass effort here. So, yeah, the 4th lane in effect right now.
Yeah, and again, you get that crazy momentum run. So you lose it on corner entry, but what you gain from the apex to corner exit is just ridiculously strong. As you see Jacob Grant kind of returning the favor here. 13 was not able to clear him side by side going in. You're going to see the 13 is going to go lurch forward a little bit here on corner entry just like that, but on apex off, you're going to see the 19 really build that momentum up and start taking advantage of that lead again.
Here comes Michael Hayes to help Steven, but the 19 is going to drop in front, ruin that party. Jacob Grant still leading this thing on lap 32 now, scheduled 100 laps for the 14th race for the Global Racing Truck Series race, live on Nerd TV. Top 3, nose to tail. Then you got EJ Luna all by his lonesome in P4. Jeremy Richmond currently your top 5. As they're kind of spaced out, Dustin, if we hit the iRacing iFlag track map, that'll give a good idea of what is going on here around this track. And the leader's coming off of turn 4.
Richmond in the wall.
Oh, he's
contact with Bullard.
Yeah, he got the wall glue away, but in return, he's going to come down on top of the 18. Thankfully, that wasn't a wreck. But you see on the track map there, just about half this facility just covered in trucks right now.
Yeah, and that's the longer we run green flags, the more that's going to happen. So we got a battle for P2, Jeremy. It looks like the 13 of Stephen Hayes may be starting to kind of feel a little bit of the wear on those tires as Michael Hayes was coming up to kind of battle them. Or something else, too, is he could be sitting here trying to cool those tires off. He's been racing hard with the 19. Jacob Grant could be trying to cool those tires off a little bit to try to make another run at it.
Yeah, it said 3 wide in turn 3 just for a moment there. Caden Bullard just lost 4 positions that time off of turn 2. Last lap, he smacked the wall pretty good, and it made him lose spots on the backstretch into turn 3, which caused a 3 wide. They're back now. They are single file once more here. Here comes the 91 Ricky Hudgens to the inside of Abram Ghost, and the driver who started in second place is fallen back to 7th and possibly even 8th if the 91 can get around him. So the 22's long run needs a little tweaking here.
Yeah, Jeremy, and remember, we've only had one yellow flag fly, and that was very early on in the running of this race here, and since then, it has been green flag racing. So now you're going to start seeing these drivers start to form and sense some handling issues.
Sorry, Stephen Hayes, driver 13, second place into the outside wall. Michael Hayes is going to try to go around him here on the back straightaway into turn 3. I think that lost probably a few mile an hour off to 13, scraping that wall. And then he has to battle here with his brother. Side draft all the way through, but this is going to be very nice for Jacob Grant. He's going to allow that big gap between second and first place.
Yeah, and he's just loving seeing those two side-by-side battle like that. Almost a little bit of contact between the brothers Hayes there, as it looks like Mike Hayes should have him cleared. Slide job in there. Will Stephen Hayes try the crossover? And he does. Pulls out, tries to get the nose in, has the nose on the inside for the crossover, and they're still going to stay side-by-side, diving it off into 3, Jeremy.
They're doing this, and they're keeping the momentum going. They're keeping the distance level with the 19-year race leader as EJ Luna is coming down pit road, Dustin. The first one out of the top 10, or actually probably the first one in the entire field, the 24 on lap 36 to 37. He's going to give up 4th place. And now, I guess that field window's open.
Yeah, that
there's
field
the number
window's
7.
Yep, number 7 of Patrick Gintner now coming down as well. So your first 2 takers for green flag pit stops.
No. Sorry, the 13 and 1, brother on brother. Pushes the number 1 Michael Hayes heavy into the outside wall. We're going to have to Nerd TV rewind on that one. Heavy contact. Race applications for the number 1 here. Just got 2 tied off of turn 2. And here we go. Replay in action. 13 tight. 1 going to feel it. Boom. Heavy contact.
Heavy contact. And that's, you start to worry at that point in time, Jeremy, as far as, what damage has that done to the truck? Is the handling gone? You see Mike Hayes has fallen all the way back to 5th right now, at risk of dropping outside of the top 5 as the 22 of Abram Ghostin is right there to pounce, as is Ricky Hudgens. So the 1 now playing defense, trying to get the momentum going back again to stay within the top 5 where he was battling for that 2nd place.
Yeah, his 85 Justin LeBlanc, I think. Yeah, he's coming down pit road, but he had to check up Abram Ghostin as here comes the 85 and 13 on lap 39 to 40 for the 2nd round of green flag pit stops. Dustin Franklin, he is exiting pit road right now. So we got about 5 or 6 total. Caden Bullard, he's announcing pit road this time himself. Don Blazer's on pit road as well. So about 7 trucks now, Dustin, under green flag. And here we got more in the back straightaway calling it. I think Michael Hayes is coming in. Maybe Abram Ghostin. We'll see here.
Yeah, and I would expect some of these drivers, we had talked about some handling issues. We had seen it on the track. We're within that green flag pit window. Got 4 coming down right now. Jacob Grant's down pit road. Jeremy Richmond, Mike Hayes, Abram Ghostin, Ricky Hudgens, Caden Bullard, all down pit road. That's going to cycle the 34 of Michael Thorpe Jr. to the top spot. And I would expect Michael Thorpe Jr. to possibly come down this time by, you're right at that 40 lap mark, Jeremy. If you can sit here and stretch at 40, 40, 20, that means you only have 20 laps on that set of tires if it goes green the rest of the way, meaning you're going to have probably some of the fresher tires, meaning you can run them a little harder on that smaller 20 lap segment at the end if it goes green flag the rest of the way.
It looks like great exit from all the drivers on pit road. I don't see any penalties issued just yet. So we'll have to
Thorpe
see
and Weimer
how
coming
the-
in, as
here we
is
go.
Marinko, or is that Minor? No, it was Marinko and Miner and Holmes.
You got 'em.
They're all there.
Here we go. At the moment, we technically have a lead change. Bobby Mantle, Cyclist Series, your race leader this time. So we're going to mark one more down for the lead change count. And then everybody else should be coming in the next lap or two. So kind of just follow along here. There's the 3 truck. Currently second place, Shane Wheeldon. And I think we did have a pit road penalty. I was kind of eyeballing Callum Bailey in the 26. He was on pit road for a long time, Dustin. And I think there was some type of penalty with speeding or entry. Oh, it was entry. He missed the yellow cone. So Callum Bailey brings out the first penalty issued here tonight.
And I mean, and that's tough, you know, because you lose so much time, green flag, to come down to serve that penalty. But, I mean, we stated it numerous times, Jeremy. Races are made or broken on pit road, and that's pit road entry and pit road exit included. You can gain so much, but you can also lose a lot right now. And speaking of losing, you gotta kind of wonder how much time the 89 of Bobby Mantle and the 3 of Shane Wheeldon are losing right now, because they're the only 2 out there not on freshies putting down lap times, and the split differential is got to be pretty good. I do got to shout out that paint scheme of Shane Wheeldon, though. That is a sharp paint scheme. You know me and simple, but man, am I getting some Smokin' Joe vibes off of that scheme.
Not too many times you see a yellow and purple paint job out there. Not too many times at all. And it looks great. So I agree. Very simple, very clean. Even the purple's got a chrome metallic-y feel to it. Everything's just beautiful about that truck.
Absolutely. And the 89 of Mantle and the 3 of Wheeldon elect to stay out another lap. We just completed lap 43, working lap 44. Jeremy, we're coming up on the halfway mark here in just 7 laps. And these 2 still out here.
Can they?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the fuel run is for these trucks right now at a 45% load. But we do know they're going to have to come down. Out of the drivers that have pitted, EJ Luna is currently leading that, but not for long, because we got a battle for third. Luna holds it. Jacob Grant and Stephen Hayes both won it, and they are all neck to neck right now. It was almost 3 wide about a half a lap ago between these 3 drivers, and this will be your battle for the race lead once the 89 of Mantle and the 3 of Wheeldon come down for their pit service.
Yeah, remember, Luna was the first to come down pit road. He shortcutted, so this is why he is now all of a sudden in the battle for the race lead once 89 and the 3 do come down pit road. 3 wide for third, and it looks like it's going to be held by EJ Luna in the 24 that time around. But backstretch time, we're probably going to see him fade. Yep, here he goes to 4th, to 5th. Here we go, 89 down pit road and the 3. So the final 2 trucks cannot make it to the halfway mark. Now this is going to be interesting. If they split this next 2 sections, if it goes green the rest of the way, they're going to have, what, 27 laps each time? Yeah. So a lot shorter of a so maybe more like a go just hammer down, qualify, run it, and then come down pit road early twice.
Yeah. And that's, again, this is one of those tracks. I mean, it's a speedway. It's a heavy drafting track. It feels like another super speedway. But you can mix in pit strategy with it, and we're seeing varying pit strategies right now that could play out. We got a battle for the race lead. Was held by Jacob Grant. Now Stephen Hayes trying to reclaim that top spot where he has been a good amount of tonight's event and will overtake the 19 going into turn 3. So Mark Stephen Hayes back up to the lead, but Grant looking like he's trying something. Back on that high side, going to go back neck and neck, but lap car right now. That's Gaston was unintentionally used as a pick there, but that's unfortunate because that would have been a killer run there by the 19 coming out, but he had to swing it way wide on that.
And that costed him a lap lead that time around. For the second time tonight, a virtual tie, 0.000. Stephen Hayes does lead that lap to the 4th digit. Now here comes the 19, Jacob Grant. Back to the inside, under attack is the 13. Oh, a little loose from the 19. It's going to allow 13 to shoot ahead. No problem here this time around. This battle's getting good, Dustin. This thing's been going on for a while. What a track and car combo. If this ever, suited your fancy for good, solid racing, I don't know what would. This is just excellent stuff.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. I mean, I don't care where you're at. I still feel the trucks probably put on the best show, hands down, at pretty much any oval track that they go to. It's always a blast to race them. It's a blast to watch them and call the race and do the production on them. And, I mean, if a track is really suited for that, for the truck, Michigan is definitely one of those. I mean, you always have close racing no matter where you're looking. Like, we can look anywhere. Like, we were just watching the battle for the lead, and I just went back here to 5th place at Justin LeBlanc, and we got a battle going on, and he's getting loose out of the corner, and he's battling right now with the 91 of Ricky Hudgens. Like I said, there's never a dull moment. There's always something going on.
I want to call it again for the third time tonight. Dead tie at the line. 0.000. Stephen Hayes leads Jacob Grant once more. How many times have you seen a dead tie in one race? 3 times this race we've had triple zeros across the board.
I don't know. Start keeping a tally of it. We'll see how many we have, because I have a feeling if things keep going the way they are right now, that's exactly how close the finish could be setting up to be, for sure.
Absolutely. Here, you're going to keep track of this massive battle. I'll keep my camera on the race lead so we can cover both ends of this thing. This is a great battle to watch here. Turn 1, we're focusing on LeBlanc in the 85. As he has the 91 of Hudgens right in front of him. Michael Hayes, who had that damage from Stephen Hayes shoving up into the wall late into the first run. Hayes got that thing repaired and hanging on just fine. So those 3 neck and neck, turn 3, as they're still catching the 98 of Richmond just a little bit. And Abram Ghostin hanging on tight here to keep this nice little 5-truck battle going.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, a good rebound from Mike Hayes. I mean, you got to believe there's a little bit of frustration having a truck that was up there battling for P2 in striking distance of the top spot. And then a little brother-on-brother contact there, send him to the wall. It's going to make Thanksgiving a little awkward. Not really, it's sim racing. We're all here for fun anyway. But he's still rebounded really good, though. I mean, 5th place, now finally got cleared in the 91 of Hudgens, now setting his sights on the 98 of Richmond. Again, Richmond has been gone for a number of weeks, comes back tonight, finds himself running in the top 5 right now, and he's been running top 5, top 10 all night since the drop of the green flag, so good return for him as well. But we got a battle back here with LeBlanc. LeBlanc has been loose out of the corners here, and he's been trying to find a line to get around the 91, and a lot of times he'll sit here and switch lanes, and the 91 will go right up to that lane. So the 91 is running the same lanes that the 85 is, Jeremy, and that's what's tough, because the only way the 85 can get around now is he has to run outside of where he normally has been running, which kind of throws a lot of variables in there, because that driver may not be as adept running in the different lanes just to try to get around. But you got to do that if the driver in front of you you're trying to pass is running the exact same line you are.
We're going to go picture-in-picture for the second time here tonight, just past the halfway mark of this 100-lap event. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hey, can you do me a favor? I'm really hungry, but I'm trapped in here, and I dropped my last piece of boozy jerky on the floor. I can't reach it. Would you mind grabbing me a bag of the most tender, flavorful booze-infused jerky on the planet? I promise I'll pay you back. I mean, I'd eat my piece, but I can't reach it. Oh, actually, I got it. Oh, it's so good. It's so tender, so flavorful. You should really pick yourself up a bag. But if you do, you can't eat it in here. Now, this is my spot. I own this spot. Boozy jerky. The original booze-infused beef jerky with a pair.
Back to full screen action here as we're on lap 57 of scheduled 100 laps here for the 14th running race of the 2025 schedule for Global Racing League Truck Series. And I was just kind of going over the stats during our little break there, and Jacob Grant, obviously, if you've been staying tuned recently, he's going for a three-peat. He's won the last 2 weeks. His third win came on race number 2 of the season at Atlanta. So if he can hold on here, Dustin, he's going to have 4 wins after having the first 10 races go all different winners. And then Jacob Grant is just spoiling the party.
Yeah, I mean, and Jacob Grant's been doing fantastic. Like you said, he won all the way back on week 2 at Atlanta. Really set the pace for himself, but he has really been coming on strong since joining the ranks of Grim Reaper. And if you recall, when we interviewed him in the Icon Apparel Company Victory Lane last week, I mean, he gave praise to Grim Reaper Motorsports for bringing him on. The tutelage and everything else that he's been getting from Bobby Mantle. And he even stated that even if Bobby doesn't think he's teaching him, he's picking up tips and tricks, and he shouted out JJ McCoy, of course, former Grim Reaper Motorsports team member, last season's defending champion. He says he gets tips from him as well, running in officials. So he's really been coming into his own since joining the ranks of Grim Reaper right now. And, I mean, it's even talking about Jacob Grant. I mean, Stephen Hayes. I mean, we have seen him more so this season up in the top 3 to top 5 more than what we have the previous seasons. He's really been coming on strong. Lone Star Motorsports has been coming around and doing fantastic. So it seems like we keep calling... we call a lot of drivers' numbers, but these two over the last few weeks, Jeremy, seem like their numbers have been on the docket quite often.
Yeah, absolutely. And you just saw the 13. He is up on that 5th groove in turn 3 and 4, not releasing it at the moment. And even turn 1 and 2, the 19 and 13 are up there on the 3rd and 4th groove. The 13, the past couple laps, has been faster than Jacob Grant. As we go raceepi.com, race telemetry from the truck of the 13. We're going to watch him go through turns 3 and 4 up there on that 5th groove. He gets actually an entry that's faster than the 19. Catches him, and of course he loses it on center. As we're going to take that awesome spoiler camera shot through the corner set. And on the front stretch, you see the green truck getting bigger and bigger. And that time at the line, he gains 1/10, Dustin. He is tracking. He's running the fast part of the track. He's using more tire wear. But we're, 20-ish laps into this fuel run. And the 13, even though he's on the outside, he is still faster than the 19 right now.
Yeah, and like you said, that last lap, we'll see if he does it again this lap here. He kind of takes that lower entry, lets it kind of drift up a little bit, and then kind of arcs it and diamonds it back off. I mean, we see that at like Darlington, at Bristol, we see that kind of entry, but I mean, this one here, it's working. That easy entry into the turn 3 corner, drift it up to build the speed, bring it back down for that nice sweeping momentum exit off of 4, and it's working. And he's closing in on the 19 of Jacob Grant.
Yeah, I think Jacob was playing smart right there. He went up in turn 3 to block the air that's on the nose of the 13. Now Steven might have to go to the bottom to make a complete note. Jacob's going to go back to the bottom this time. This might be risky. He knows the 13 is really fast up there. He's going to take that early corner entry to pull away, but then watch this 13 draft plus advantage off corner. He's just going to close it on in. And that time around, he gained, Dustin, yet 100th of a second. And now he's there. He is so there. 1 or 2 more laps, and this could be side by side.
Oh, it's definitely going to be side by side. I don't know if Jacob Grant is running the lower to mid line to try to save and conserve tires, or maybe running up there. He's seen other drivers kind of get into that wall, so it's not as comfortable up there. But he's either going to have to play defense and take away Stephen Hayes' line, or it's going to be side by side all the way through. Because, I mean, Stephen Hayes is there. I mean, he loses it on corner entry. I mean, that's a gimme when you're running that high side and somebody takes that lower entry. But he gains it from the apex off so much that he gets that draft runner. One of these times, he's going to get that draft run and pull that crossover on him and just shoot it to the inside.
This is a beautiful camera angle, too. Great choice, Dustin, on how to watch this battle for the race lead. As we're just going to watch the 13 now and go to the top. Of course, he loses that center. I think this time in turn one, he might go to the bottom. Yeah, he's going to have to go to the bottom.
This is it. Crossover. There it was. He was maintaining with him so much that there was no way that he wasn't going to get that crossover momentum.
And he got him by 16 one-thousandths of a second for our 7th lead change of the night amongst 4 different drivers. The 19, Jacob Grant, back to the inside, going to get some side draft. Let's see how this works. Do we get a 4th time dead heat at the line? Jacob's going to drive it in low. Oh, we have a good shot of this. This is going to be a great battle once more between these two. At the line, do we get a tie? Nope, not this time. Not enough run from the 13.
No. But I tell you, one driver that was loving to see that side-by-side like this right here is that driver right there in the 24 machine, EJ Luna. He's needing something to try to reel him in, and these drivers battling it like that, not only, I mean, they can maintain pace. Every once in a while on the crossovers, they may lose a little bit of momentum, but what they're doing is they're switching their lines, they're changing lanes left and right, they're heating their tires up a little bit more, and that's just increasing the chance that 24 can close in on these and make this 2-truck battle a 3-truck battle.
That's a great point from EJ Luna's perspective. He was 2.5 seconds back about 10 laps ago. These guys duking it out has brought him into this time at the line 1.0. So basically a whole second has been earned in the past 10 laps from the 24. So he's reeling in. He is reeling them in. But at the same token, these guys came down pit road before lap 40. Now we're approaching lap 70. So at what point do they split this run in half? They could be down in 5 laps. They could be down in 10 laps. We'll find out.
Yeah, and remember, EJ Luna was the first truck to take service down pit road under the last green flag conditions there. So, and he's still maintaining and catching on this. But, I mean, as you can tell, we're riding on board his roof cam right now. You can see Stephen Hayes and Jacob Grant are switching lanes all over the place. EJ can run whatever line he wants, just nice and easy entry. He's just out there for a nice Sunday drive right now, and he's reeling these drivers in ever so slightly. A 10th here, a 10th there, but he's still reeling them in.
And even that last time, to double down on that, 0.2 of a second was earned by the 24. Just that last lap alone, as this is just an amazing battle. This is like one of the only battles on the track right now. Maybe you can have a battle with 10th, 11th, and 12th with Michael Thorpe, Jeff Weimer, John Blazier. They're 3 trucks neck and neck. But this is the race lead, and they just keep flip-flopping. And contact, almost epic amount of side draft from Stephen Hayes. He's going to try to slide Jacob. He does. Strong move from the 13.
Yeah, but Grant's going to take that crossover and that momentum going downhill out of turn 3, and he's going to go side by side and look at EJ Luna. He's just like, yeah, boys, just keep racing. Keep racing. I'll be up there. Give me about another lap or 2, and I'm going to be right there as he really starts closing in on him right now, Jeremy.
There's the sound of the door knocking as EJ Luna is there. waiting to see what happens between these two. And when EJ gets there, how does he pass? There's been so many side-by-side battles between the 13 and 19. Does the 24 have to go 3 wide, or does he get there then make his pit stop? Maybe if you're the 24, you come down pit road now, so you don't lose the speed that you have been having this whole time. That might be a great call to come down pit road this time.
And it very well could be. Or, I mean, he is closed in. I mean, this is a 3-truck breakaway right now. I mean, he is closed in. He is now side by side for second place. Your next driver is Mike Hayes, 8.2 seconds behind your race leader. So if EJ Luna can maintain with these two drivers and they came down pit road well after he did, and if you've got the fuel, Jeremy, I think I might just risk it as long as you can maintain the handling of that truck like he's been showing us he can. I think I'd sit here and stay out until those drivers come down, get on the same pit cycle, because if he can maintain right now, Jeremy, being the first one on older tires, imagine what would happen if they were on the same set of tires. He might have a chance at stealing this.
Here comes the 24. He got caught up there with the lap truck and decided, you know what, enough's enough. I liked your idea as well, Dustin, but either way, this is going to be a good call. This is going to put him as the race leader when the 19 and 13 cycle through. Just have to manage those tires in an early run, which, DJ, fantastic job to come down, your first driver to make pit road, and then still be battling for the race lead. So 2 trucks, 3 trucks. You got the 22, you got the 85, also on pit road this time.
Yeah, and as it's working right now, it's been about 38 laps since EJ Luna's come down pit road. So I mean, he was right at that cycle as far as fuel to make it down. And we're gonna have to see how this is gonna go, Jeremy. We have 29 laps to go. 28 this time by as your race leader Jacob Grant crosses the line, and Stephen Hayes is electing to come down pit road. That is your second place driver. It's going to rotate Mike Hayes and company behind him up one more spot. But again, that distance is like 8.5 seconds right now between Jacob Grant and Mike Hayes, who currently sits P2. So these drivers, if they're going to try to make up time, they're going to have to try to do everything they can on pit road to make that time up.
Yeah, we'll have to. They got some work ahead of them, that's for sure. Let's see what they can't do. As we're just kind of watching here, Jacob Grant has that nice, comfy 8-second lead because the 13 is down pit road. So Jacob Grant, we know he's fast. When you have 26 laps to go, this time by, you would think you would want to not stay out too late because the lap count, once you get to about 20 to go and you're still out, I don't think you can do it. We have seen it. Oh, here we go. 19 coming down this time. He is slow in turn 3 and 4. This is a good call. Earlier the better for the 19. He's going to lose the race lead to the 13, but by how much? That is the question.
Yeah, because just before that, I kind of cycled the cameras ahead a little bit because I seen a glimpse of the 13. So the 13 was right at the tail end of the lead lap, not a lap down yet, but Jacob Grant could see him, and the 13 was only going to drive away from that point on with those fresh tires. So good call by the 19 camp right now to bring that truck down to virtual service from his pit crew. And the 34, Michael Thorpe Jr. comes down as well as Jeffrey Weimer comes down. Brody Marinko comes down. So the Deuce is down pit road. So number of trucks coming down right now. Mike Hayes is going to elect to stay out. And right now he's in a battle for that top spot between himself and the 91 of Ricky Hudgens. Scratch at Ricky Hudgens says, ha ha, psych, sucker, I'm coming down pit road. So Mike Hayes will maintain the race lead as we are still cycling through green flag pit stops.
25 laps remaining. 3/4 of the way done. 1/4 remains here for the Global Racing Truck Series race number 14 at Michigan International Speedway. Right now you are looking at your race leader currently, the number 1, Michael Hayes, virtue of just taking the strategy and getting the lap that way. So that'll mark your 9th lead change here tonight. He's going to come down pit road this time, give that up, and now Let's see who cycles through next. It looks like it might be Bobby Mantle once more, P3 right now. Ricky Hudgens already on pit road, so it won't be him. And yeah, Bobby's going to stay out. So for the second time tonight, staying out on the long run. Bobby, your race leader.
Yeah, and if you recall, Bobby Mantle and Shane Wheeldon were the last two trucks to come down during that last green flag cycle to the service of their virtual pit crew. And right now, Shane Wheeldon running P3 as they're still cycling through. Brad Miner currently in P2, and Shane Wheeldon further back right now, almost a straightaway behind the 89 and the 46. And he's got fast trucks coming up. EJ Luna, Stephen Hayes, both of those drivers have been to the service of their crew. EJ Luna is going to sit here and set sail right now. So at this point in time, you're already losing positions. I mean, you can't make it to the end. At least I don't believe that they can, Jeremy. At a 45% fuel load, it might be time to come down, unless they're hoping for a late race caution to give them the freshest tires. But at this rate, they're still going to be slotted way back, because these drivers that pitted probably not going to come down if that caution comes out soon.
Yeah, the 89 came down at the latest time, right on lap 43, 44. You'd have to go 56 laps to finish it off. That's not going to happen. So they have to come down pit road for sure. They're just hoping for that caution. That's the only thing I can think of that would be why you'd stay out so late when you're not a race-winning truck. And so here's the 46. He's down pit road. This Bradley Miner. New paint job on that machine there. And we're just waiting on one truck. But the battle for the race lead is strong. Shane Wheeldon is currently P5. Yeah, he's not on pit road yet either. You are correct. He also played the long game with the 89.
Yes.
So those two trucks are waiting. But battle for the potential race lead here in a short period of time is these two trucks. And Jacob Grant, by the way, came out 2 seconds behind the 13. That was the difference. 2 seconds. And now this time by, it's going to be, I'm going to wait for the times to get posted. And Jacob Grant is 1.6 behind Stephen Hayes. So he's catching.
Yeah, picked up 4/10 since pit road exit. The thing is he's got to make sure that he does not burn his tires, does not overheat them. There's still 21 laps to go, Jeremy, and I mean, he sees them. They're right there. The next two trucks in his field of view, as we're on the roof cam of Jacob Grant right now, is going to be your race leaders once, they are your race leaders now as Bobby Mantle came down pit road. That's EJ Luna and Stephen Hayes. He's got plenty of time. Slowly go up there. Now the roles are reversed. Now the 24 and 13 are going to be racing each other, and the 19 is going to slowly reel them in. As last run, it was the 13 and the 19 racing each other, and the 24 slowly reeling them in.
19 and a half laps to go. We're taking our final picture-in-picture as EJ Luna leads his first laps of the evening right now on lap 81. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
can you do me a favor? I'm really hungry, but I'm trapped in here, and I dropped my last piece of boozy jerky on the floor. I can't reach it. Would you mind grabbing me a bag of the most tender, flavorful, booze-infused jerky on the planet? I promise I'll pay you back. I mean, I'd eat my piece, but I can't reach it. Oh, actually, I got it. Oh, it's so good. It's so tender, so flavorful. You should really pick yourself up a bag. But if you do, you can't eat it in here. Now, this is my spot. I own this spot. Boozy Jerky, the original booze-infused beef jerky with a pair. Now available.
Back full screen for now until the end of the race, and we've been kind of focusing on this battle. This is a nice solid 3-truck battle. Ricky Hudgens just blew the 74 and the 85 away, so not really a battle for him, but the 74, 85, they've been going at it for about 10 to 15 laps, about 1/10 here, 1/10 there. We wanted to shed some light on some drivers not in the race lead, and this has been a really strong battle, so just wanted to give some love to the other drivers out in the field. This has not all been the race leaders, but that's been the most important part. And Dustin, Stephen Hayes, Jacob Grant, we're going to go back to the front here momentarily. Hey, how you doing? Knocking on the door of the 19 Grant once more here, as this battle for about 50 some odd laps is still under fire.
And Jeremy, it's still going to be under fire for the next 15 laps, 14 as they cross the line this time. Side by side, Grant going to the inside. You see EJ Luna back there just kind of waiting in the wings. And again, that's very reminiscent of what happened last time, especially with him being one of the first ones coming down pit road. Let these two duke it out a little bit and don't fall too far back. And see if you can't be there to maybe try to steal a second place or maybe even a victory here. But with the way that the 19 and the 13 have been running, Jeremy, these trucks have been running crazy. Oh, the 13 in the wall on that one. Wall glued. He's going to lose a lot on that one there as he took it just a few inches too high.
And that last time by, not that one, but the one before, it was almost a 4th tie in a row. But out of 3 1,000ths, it was very close. But now the 19 fresher tires and the race lead. This thing is all but wrapped up. But we also see what EJ Luna, what he could have done, or what he did rather, on that last run with the oldest tires and still was the fastest truck. But with 12 laps to go this time around, I don't think there's enough time. Jacob just needs to hit his marks, and that man is going to be setting sail for the rest of the way.
Yeah, and he's got no pressure right now. There's about 3 truck lengths in between him, 4 truck lengths in between him and Stephen Hayes right now. He just needs to hit his marks where he knows that truck runs the best. Keep it clean, don't overdrive it, and keep doing that for another 12 rotations around this 2-mile speedway known as Michigan International Speedway. That is your top 3 right there in the frame. Jacob Grant, Stephen Hayes, and EJ Luna. Abram Ghostin, who started second and has kind of maintained in the top 5, top 10, currently running 4th place. But that 91 of Ricky Hudgens, Jeremy, has been closing in quite a bit. Mike Hayes there, who had a little bit of damage from that brotherly love contact that happened about 50 laps ago, still in the striking distance, but Ricky Hudgens looking to try to make some moves.
Yeah, he's been fast. He's been passing a few trucks left and right, like he has 15 fresher lap tires, and there he goes underneath Abram Ghostin in the 22. This will put him P4 as the number 1, who's in 6th, now in 5th place. He might do a little 2-for-1 on the back straightaway. Has the side draft. Can't quite get there, but of course he's going to take it low in turn 3. Now they're door to door. Positioning-wise, coming off corner exit, clears the 91. So Michael Hayes going from 6th to 4th in that half a lap.
Yeah, just outside of the top 5, now solidly in the top 5. So good rebound after that mid-race contact with the outside wall. And he's looking to try to put some distance. But Jeremy, I mean, there's a lot of space right now between your top 3 trucks and this group right now. 12.2 seconds is the distance Mike Hayes is from your race leader, Jacob Grant. So he's about 11 seconds, 11.2 seconds away from third place at this point in time. It's just, he's got a lot of ground to make up. And I mean, 9 laps to go. He's going to have to start putting down some blistering laps in order to try to close that gap. And it's still probably not going to be enough. In order for these drivers here to have a shot at a Nerd TV podium, they're going to have to see that yellow flag fly. But that's not what these drivers right here want to see. As Jacob Grant is taking off, but EJ Luna putting pressure on the 13 of Stephen Hayes.
We have a special request. Callum Bailey is driving the truck and on the YouTube chat at the same exact time, and he asked for us to check his livery, which, if you're an English folk or anyone not in America, you know that is your paint scheme. That is your decal set. So I see R.I.P. Ross. Has that been
Rossi.
a thing on Rossi? So I'm guessing that's a shout out to his dog that they're on the hood of that truck. I'm assuming this is what we're going to be shouting out here, if you will. Based on, I don't see anything else special about it except for R.I.P. Rossi. So there you go, Callum Bailey. If that is the deal, then sorry for the loss there. But the truck still looks great regardless.
Yeah, I got the picture of the puppers on the hood and everything else. So sorry to hear about the loss, my man. But stay strong out there and have some fun running.
There you go. And I'm going to try to do a little fun thing. I'm going to test Dustin's broadcast production skills. If we can go on board with this 19 truck, go on his Oakley visor cam. I'm going to try to do a sponsor dump. Just have some fun on the broadcast here for the final few laps. Can we also get the iRacing iFlag track map at the same time? And can we also get the raceepi.com race telemetry? Yes, we can. Look at that. My man has it all set up, layered correctly. Photo dump and everything. There we go. This is what it looks like to be your race leader. You have your speed, you have your position on the track, and you have a POV shot of what it's like to just be the dominant truck in the back half of tonight's race. So there you go. And custom head movement controls. Dustin has everything. What a production guy.
I aim to please, Jeremy. Just for you, I aim to please, my guy.
Look at that. Just, we like all of our partners. That's why we can do this here. I don't know if we can put anything else on the screen at the same time, position-wise. I don't think they're layered in the center of the screen. Hopefully not. But there you go. There's a shout-out to everybody and Jacob Grant. He's looking for a 3-peat, Dustin. 3 wins in a row if he can hang on for 5 more laps.
Yeah, if he can hang on for 5 more laps, he will be the first driver to 3-peat. And Jeremy, the way it's going, I mean, we've seen that track map, and I'll throw it up again. I mean, these trucks are so spread out. About your biggest clump of trucks is going to be for that 4th place, 5th place. Right around here is about the trucks are about the closest for position. There you see them all on the line right now. But, I mean, everything is spread out that Jacob Grant is just hoping for a few more laps just like that, because he has got himself spread out quite a bit away from 2nd place. 1.8 seconds, almost 2-second gap between himself and EJ Luna, who took that spot over. And Luna and Stephen Hayes in that 13 Whataburger truck, probably my favorite scheme from the Hayes camp there at Lone Star Racing, has kept EJ Luna in his crosshairs in striking distance. And I would be led to believe that it's not the last time maybe the 13 trying to hold back a little bit and conserve just a little bit of tire for one last hurrah and stab at that 2nd place position.
Speaking of Whataburger, my brother, Brian Stanley, he prefers In-N-Out Burger, which is not in our area. But every time he goes out of state and has it, he makes sure to get get it. But now my favorite's Whataburger out of the fast food joints. Whataburger. So for the 31 guys that are watching that are not driving and your name's not Callum Bailey, can you put in the chat what is your favorite fast food burger joint? Mine's this place right here. Absolutely. If it was in my area, it would be there all the time. But I'm just kind of curious what other people think. Dustin, what's yours?
If we're going fast food, I'd probably have to say Whataburger. I loved living down in Florida in the Panhandle, and we had one close. Whataburger was always a place we visited.
Yes, we did.
But we do have a burger joint that is actually in Des Moines, Iowa, which is in stone's throw distance away for us country folk. That is called Zombie Burger, and it's all zombie themed. And they have probably some of the best burgers that I have had in quite some time from I guess you would call them a fast food joint, but they're not as fast food joint as like what Whataburger or Burger King or anybody else like that would be considered.
That's a great answer there. One lap to go, presented by absolutely nobody, as that segment is back. I'm glad to bring that back. Sith Racer says Whataburger as well. And Michael Thorpe says Culver's. Gold Track says In-N-Out. Jeff says Five Guys. I love Five Guys too. That's actually
Five Guys is good.
Two.
Yep. Culver's. They make butter burgers better,
Culver's.
man. Culver's is good too. That's a good one.
Really?
And here we go,
Really?
Jeremy. We know the 19's going to get the dub, and this is what I was talking about, that last hurrah out of the 13 to try to get that spot. Little drift up there. Gets loose,
Contact.
side by side. Who's going to get the run? 24 of EJ Luna gets it, but I tell you, Stephen Hayes, good effort there trying to get P2, but it's all about that man right there, the 19, Mr. Three-Peat himself.
There we go. Three-peat for the driver of the 19. Just who can knock this guy down? It's just so fast. Doesn't matter the track layout. Super speedway-ish. 2-mile racetrack. Doesn't matter. This guy getting the nudge there from EJ Luna. Great race from those two guys. Top three, excellent battle all night long.
All right, I got to shout out Sith Racer too, because I agree. Jalapenos on a Whataburger, yes sir. Thank you very much. And I tell you what, Ron, I forgot about Freddy's. Freddy's steak burgers are pretty good too.
Never seen them. Never heard of them.
We just recently got one up around here, around the Quad Cities, and it's definitely a pretty solid burger. Definitely a solid one.
It's good options. So many good burger joints there.
Now that Jeremy's got more burger joints on his bucket list to hit. Thank you, everybody, for participating. Love it.
I think I've given Culver's 2 of my paychecks at this point since they moved 5 minutes from my house about a year and a half ago. So, there's that. But burn it down. Here goes the 19 as he gets really good at these things. We're going to look over unofficial results presented by Dusty Pete's Gifts and Collectibles. And here we go. Jacob Grant, EJ Luna, and Stephen Hayes is your top 3. Michael Hayes, Ricky Hudgens rounds out your top 5. Abram Ghostin, Jeremy Richmond, Justin LeBlanc, Dustin Franklin, and Michael Thorpe Jr. is your top 10. Then 11th on back is Don Glazier, Jeff Weimer, Bobby Mental, Bradley Miner, Patrick Gentner, Brody Marinko, Shane Wheeldon, Ronald Holmes, Caden Bollard, Tyler Honeycutt, Joshua Altis, Callum Bailey, Matthew Escalera, Jonathan Gaston, Jacob Kaplan, and Chuck Cobb is your 26th driver entry list to finish the race. Here we go. We're going full screen. Gathering our top 3, and we'll be right back. Hey, welcome back for the post-race show presented by Victory Fuel, and we got our top three gathered up. Stephen Hayes in the 13. We're going to bring him in right now. Stephen Hayes, this is Jeremy and Dustin. What's up, man?
What's up, boys?
Dude, that battle between you, EJ Luna, and Jacob Grant all night long, my God, what a race. We couldn't leave the camera from you three, just you and the 19 specifically. So how much fun was it out there tonight?
Man, that was a blast. I'll tell you what. Just the hard, clean race in between all three of us, and specifically Grant. I mean, God, man, that guy's fast.
Coming from the guy in the drivers' meeting who said that he did not like this track, just said that was a lot of fun, man. I'm gonna call shenanigans on that.
Oh no, I still hate this track. It's a weird track, and it's hard to get good setups with the trucks, and I don't know. I just don't like the way the tire wear works out, but I may hate it, but I might be good at it. It doesn't matter. I still hate it. But yeah, it was a bunch of fun racing with those two guys.
Yeah, was there anything that you could have done differently? I mean, and you were doing exactly what I and Jeremy thought you were doing, which was holding back and kind of conserving those tires for one last hurrah at EJ Luna for that P2. You think there was anything you could have done timing-wise or anything else to try to lock that in coming out of turn 4?
Nah, I mean, really the only chance I had was to get Carson Hocevar in here and race for me, but I mean, I tried to draft with EJ to get big gap as we could, but we didn't have enough trucks to really draft. But I mean, I try to save, but this dude just pushes, and saves better than all of us. I don't know how he does it, but he does it. I want to learn the ways. I'm not there yet, but I don't know. There's not really anything I could have really done there.
Yeah, I know people use brake and throttle differently, and it makes me feel uncomfortable doing it. I know people like to intentionally take their truck sideways to not use the right front. Like, there's just things that people are comfortable with, and I am not. And I'm not willing to try it because it's on too much an edge. But I got to do one more question. It's a kind of a sour question. You and your brother, Michael Hayes, early on, you got tight, you pushed him in the wall. I'm sure you felt bad about that. Walk us through that moment in the race.
Nah, I didn't feel bad about that at all.
Okay.
Kind of beefing with him, but I mean, I just got tight, you know. I didn't get any 1X, 2X, 4X from my racing, so technically I didn't hit him. But yeah, I did get tight. I slid up, tried to do a slide job. That did not work at all. He found the wall, which unfortunate for him. But I mean, I wasn't trying to do anything wrong there, but it just happened how it happened.
It's going to be in the next Christmas card, my man. Hey, technically I didn't hit you because I didn't even get a 1X for my racing.
Exactly.
Merry Christmas.
Not my fault. Not my fault.
Yeah, he opens the card and it has a big ZRX on the inside. All right, Steve. Well, we're going to get you out of here. Any shout-outs before we do so?
Oh, shout out my team, Lone Star. I think we all finished in the top 10 today, which is great for all of us. EJ, we're kind of swapping places, you know, second and third while Grant keeps winning these races. I don't know how long we're going to keep doing this, but all those guys, they're a good group of guys to race with. I think we got my girl Kimberly is watching this. I want to thank her for watching and supporting me. Love you, baby. Other than that, I don't really got too much after that.
All right, man. Well, 10-4. We went 10 different winners in the first 10 races, and then Jacob now is the man with the target on his back. So go get him next week, man. Maybe we'll talk to you last being P1.
Appreciate it, man.
2 weeks, rather. Yes, sir. You're welcome. All right. Stephen Hayes, driver the 13 in P3 tonight. Beef, Dustin, with the brother.
Brotherly
Beef.
love.
All right. I know that with my brother. Absolutely. So we're going to bring in P2 now. Mr. EJ Luna, the guy who I thought was going to be third or fourth all night long. He had a great middle of the run and showed some excellent speed. EJ, congrats on P2.
Hey, Dustin, hey, Jeremy, thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Walk us through your race. You're quiet. You were like 2.5 seconds back midway between you and the top three. And then all of a sudden, being the guy who came down pit road first, had the fastest truck on the end of that second run. Walk us through how you're able to pit first and yet have the fastest truck out of everyone, including Jacob at that point in the race.
Yeah, so I thought I'd go with the undercut, maybe get some time on him coming out of pit road since he stayed out a couple laps longer. I don't know, man. It's just I don't really push too hard early in the run, so when it gets like probably like 30, 40 laps, everybody starts coming back to me, and I'm able to hold my truck under me a little bit longer than they are, I guess. And those pit stops, man, those were challenging, but a lot of fun.
Yeah, and you're gonna gain up through the scoring pylon on the points tonight. You're 74 back coming into this thing. Now you're gonna. It looks like you're gonna pass at least two, maybe three drivers, so it'll put you close to the top five. How you feeling for the next few weeks coming up?
Man, I'd love to see it. I'm not quite sure where we're going next week, but I mean,
2 weeks
we'll
is
just keep
Pocono.
doing. Okay, all right, yeah, we'll just keep doing what we're doing, man. Mind your own business, trying to keep the nose clean and everything, and make it to the end.
Yeah, it's Pocono and then two road courses, Lime Rock and Mid Ohio Sports
Oh,
Car.
that's gonna be fun.
Oh, that'd be. I just called a race at Lime Rock last week, and it was interesting. So maybe the trucks will be more interesting. We'll see and find out. But man, great job tonight. You, the 13, the 19, all put on a great show. We loved having the camera on you three just locked in. And any shout outs before we let you go?
Well, first and foremost, thanks for putting on this broadcast. Thank you, Global, for putting this league together. Shout out to Jacob. That was a hell of a win. Steven, my teammate. All my teammates finished in the top 10. Lone Star Racing, good for us. And thanks to friends and family for tuning in. You guys are what keep these broadcasts go round.
Yeah, 100% there. Driver finished second place. EJ Luna, congrats, man.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. And then the man that we're going to talk to for the third time in a row in Victory Lane. This guy, this
This
thing that they
guy.
call a human being here on Sunday nights, Mr. Jacob Grant. 3 in a row, dude. What's up?
What's going on, fellas? I feel good.
Just watching the 19 win
Mr.
races.
Three-Pete, I would feel good too.
Yeah, so you and the 13 probably had the best battle I have seen Global put on ever as far as two trucks go in a 50-plus lap span. How fun was it between you and Steven all night?
Man, that was me and him were just talking about it down there in the waiting room. That was probably one of the best battles that I have ever had on iRacing against anybody, and that just goes to show you of how competitive Steve is and how good he is, and he was fast. Like, don't get me wrong, he honestly had a race winning truck. I think there at the end, the tire saving and not getting back full throttle and being able to have that drive off is really what helped me out. But I mean, we seemed pretty evenly matched for the entire race, and EJ was there at the end too, mixing it up a little bit. And it was very fun.
Yeah, you pitted 4 or 5 laps after the 13 and 24 did, and I was kind of curious if you stayed out maybe too late. You dropped just outside of 2 seconds when you returned back to the track. And I think the 13 and 24 racing just a little bit by themselves was able to propel you quickly to them and kind of save that tire. Do you think that was maybe the difference, or do you think you, with that 4 lap advantage, were just going to have it anyways?
I've done a bunch of official races throughout the week, so I kind of knew the run a little bit longer was going to help you in the long run, especially if you had more than 20 to 25 laps to go. So just I think the difference between the tires and then them up there battling one another and riding really close to each other just wore their tires out a lot faster. And with me having 2 or 3 lap pressure tires just made that big of much of a difference. And that was honestly my plan the entire time, was to go longer than them in both pit road or green flag pit stop sequences. And the first time, I think I went 1 lap longer than Steve. I came out right in front of him, and then that's whenever we had that really good battle. And then I ended up getting back out up front, and they kind of stayed with me. And then EJ pit, and then Steve had pit, and I was like, all right, well, I need to run at least 2 more laps than Steve is, and I think I can have this in the long run if it goes green. If it don't go green, then I can run as hard as I want here and still have an extra set at the end of the race to still be up front and go for the win. So that was kind of the mindset on the pitting strategy there, and just not getting back full throttle like everybody else was. They would all get back full throttle really fast and easy, and I wasn't. I was going to like 90%, 85%, and it just stayed really gripped up. I ended up making a really good pit stop adjustment there at the last pit stop and tightened the truck up a little bit for the long run, and it worked out. We were hauling the mail, and this Grim Reaper Motorsports Toyota Tundra was hauling ass.
Hauling ass it was, man, for sure. Congrats on the win. Just one last quick thing. 2 weeks from now, we go to the Triangle Track, Pocono. What's the chances of a four-peat?
Man, great track. I love it.
There it is,
I'm hoping we
four-peat.
can get it. We can go for a four-peat. It'll be hopefully league history. I don't know if three-peat is or not, but I don't know how that works. But I got to definitely check into that and see if four-peat will make the record books here.
Admin's got some work to do to dig up that information. But dude, awesome job tonight. It's just a very fun race to watch. Me and Dustin had a blast calling it. So any shout-outs that you want to give out before we let you go?
Yeah, first I'd like to thank my girlfriend Caitlin for always watching and supporting me. And right now she's actually down in Myrtle Beach at the Country Music Festival. So I hope she's having fun down there. And I know she said she was going to tune in while she was there just to see the closing laps. And she did. She messaged me back, and the only thing she said was hell yeah. So appreciate her for taking time out of spending time at the music festival to even watch and support me. So thank you, love you for that. Thank you guys for putting on an amazing broadcast. I can't wait to go back and watch that battle between me and Steve from a third person point of view, because inside the truck I was sweating, I'm hot, I'm tired, my shoulder hurts. That battle right there, just that made my whole night. Even if I didn't win, I still would have been happy with the result. So can't wait to go back and watch that. Thank you to everybody who puts on this league and everybody who joins it and comes out and races every single night. Thank you, Steve and Bobby and Michael Lester for running things. And yeah, just thank everybody.
Man, and you got yourself a keeper at a music festival and still tuning in to watch an online league race and watching you win. So that's awesome to hear, man. Well, congratulations. We'll catch you in 2 weeks at Pocono. Have a good rest of your night.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir. It's Jacob Grit, driver of the 19 there. And Dustin, that's it. That's your top three podium. And what a race. That was probably the best two-truck battle I have seen this year for sure. Well, I don't know in 2024 if anything matched it either.
Yeah, I mean it was a solid race. It really was. And we talked about it beforehand. I mean, this track always breeds and produces that level of excitement, that level of competition from drivers. I mean, it was fantastic all the way around. I don't know the entire Global Racing League Truck Series history book, but if I was a betting man, since we have so happily been calling the races here for the seasons that we have, if anybody probably was up there for a four-peat, I would probably say it could possibly be another driver that was a Grim Reaper Motorsport driver by the name of Chad McGinley. Might be a name that could have been up there, seeing as he took 10 victories last season or the season before. So,
Yeah,
I would say he's probably a good front runner.
that's the name that popped in my head too, and I have to backtrack that. I have to look through the stats. I haven't pulled up on my screen right here. That's why my head's turned to the side. But
Stat checking
I'll
it.
dig through it. Yeah,
we'll
we
see.
don't have time to do it.
Yeah, we'll have
Go
2
ahead.
weeks off. 2 weeks off. So, I mean, we got time to stat check that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
See exactly who it was. But that was the first name that came to mind on that one. But, I mean, just so many drivers this season, Jeremy. I mean, doing such a fantastic job. The level of competition. I mean, even the new drivers that were coming in that, we've been calling their names more and more each week. Like Dustin Franklin, being a newer one, and we seem to be calling his name. Ricky Hudgens, we've been calling his name more the last few weeks now. I mean, it's just everybody here just steps up the level of competition. And, I mean, the racing over here, Global Racing League, is just phenomenal. So, hats off, man. We get next week off, next Sunday off, but we'll be back for Pocono, Jeremy, and I'm super excited. That's a track that, for the longest time, I could not figure out how to run it, and it was frustrating to me, and then one day it just clicked, and I slowly, progressively got better, and that's probably one of the more fun tracks to run and one of the more challenging tracks. So it's going to be interesting to see how these drivers take to the Tricky Triangle 2 weeks from today on June 22nd.
Yeah, that'll be interesting track. It either gets really racy or it gets really spaced out. We'll see how the setups handle. And I have just found in season 2, got to go back to season 2 to find your last 3-peat winner in a row of a guy named William Brown, who won Iowa, Texas, and Nashville in the months of, wait for it, the month of June. The month of June. So there you go. It's a June thing for the 3-peats. So there you go. There's been one 3-peat prior, and that's it. So actually, no, take that back. Season 1, Brandon Brook, in the first 3 races of the season, took that win. So there's been 2 3-peats.
So 3 now. Add Jacob Grant's name to that list as well. So he could potentially, depending how Pocono and the Tricky Triangle treats him, could potentially break record books for Global Racing League, being the first 4-peater since the league's inception. So we are in season 7 right now. So that's a lot of races and a lot of drivers, Jeremy. But you know what? I tell you what, man, I've been loving what this league's been bringing. Been loving what the drivers have been bringing. Have absolutely loved calling the races on Sunday here. We've had probably some of the best races, and I believe it was Global where I busted the decibel barrier at Talladega with that Caden Bullard victory coming back. So definitely action-packed.
Yeah, 100% there. And all right, guys, we're gonna close this thing out. We're gonna go relax for the rest of the night. Hopefully you guys do the same. As always, stay safe. Get your nerd on. Dustin, what you got for him?
And remember, it's not goodbye. It's just till next time. Stay nerdy.
Back when nothing truly